Okay, so I know I haven't talked about anything D&D related in a while, but I just joined a new campaign and I have to talk about how the most recent session went. It sucked. The end. Nah, I'm just joking. So my DM is most likely watching this, so I just wanted to have a little fun there with him, basically. But in all seriousness, this session that I'm about to talk about was, in my opinion, the creepiest, most intense, and downright roleplay heavy session I've ever played in all my years of playing D&D. Like, it was downright devious. Not devious, like, it was downright terrifying. I was legit creeped out for a bit. Not to mention, it has one of the creepiest creatures I've ever seen in D&D. I haven't seen that many creatures while playing D&D, so maybe this is not creepy as it sounds to you guys. But before we get that, let me explain exactly what happened, okay? How I got to this point. Our campaign takes place in a town called Bleakfall. It's not for crime where anything can get stolen, from jewelry to money to socks to bastards. It's basically Gotham except without Batman and Robin. Or wait, maybe our group Batman and Robin actually? Kind of fun. But no, anyway. Most of our group have lived in this town for a long time. Except for one. One hasn't. That's my character. He's sort of new. But because of this, we've sort of gotten used to how things have been in this town. We've sort of gotten used to the whole crime aspect. In fact, because of that crime aspect, we're having to settle down in a place called the Blind Sphinx, which is actually a safe haven for criminals and people, and for people who want to just stay hidden, basically. You won't be protected and stay safe. That's where we're staying right now. That's where our character's staying right now. Now, our party consists of some kind of standard but also pretty weird people. There's Kale, a human? Tiefling? I don't really know. Barbarian. He is a big muscle-bound guy with big horns and is also very stoic. Like, he's very honor-bound. Like, he seems like he doesn't talk that much, but he also, if he values you as a friend, you know you'll be safe with him at least. He's like lawful neutral, I guess, in some way, maybe. That's alignment. I don't know what alignment actually is, but that's how it is. Then there's Zill. He is a human fighter. He's also a very big guy, but he wears a lot of armor, like more armor than Kale. But he also has a bit of a mouth on him, as in, he gets on everyone's nerves as much as he can. He's not very charismatic, I guess you could say. He's also not very smart, seeing as how he can't read. I'm not kidding. He doesn't know how to read at all. But he has a lovable nature in the fact that you can tell that he's coming up with something, some kind of trauma, and he's using comedy for that. And even though he gets on everyone's nerves, once you get to know him, you realize there's something more to him. There's more stuff to him than what goes on, like what you see there, basically. Then we have Cyrus, who is our Azamar cleric / paladin. He's a bit of a smaller one. He's been on the smaller side. He's a generous boy. He's basically lawful good. He tries to be good in every way, but he also will. He's not afraid to pick a fight on anyone if he wants to. If you disrespect him, his friends, or even his sister, he will kick your ass as much as he can, and to back. So yeah, he has a good relationship with his god as well. They have good friends. Then there's my character, Gristard. He is a human warlock. He's an old man as well. He's like 65. He's like 60, maybe 70 years old. He's very old, and he is the new character to Bleakfall. He doesn't know what's going on. He basically woke up there and doesn't really have an idea of what to do next. He's sort of just going with the flow, as his whole thing is the fact that he likes to speak his mind. Not because he's trying to be mean or anything, but because back at his home, he was a farmer and he didn't really talk to people that much. Only people he talked to was animals. So he would just speak to them and they didn't really speak back to him. But now he's in a world where he's so confused, he's got magic, he doesn't know how he got it, he's just trying to figure out what's going on and just trying to get out of this mess. Then we have Orin. Orin is a human cryptid creature. We don't know what she is, honestly. She seems human, but she acts like a creature. She runs on all fours, she climbs walls, and seemingly bends her body in weird, misshapen ways. She is an alchemist. That's not an official class, but that's what she does. She's basically the hag of our party. If you catch our drift, she's very much just she's a fun person to play with. She's also very crazy as well. But yeah, she be soft spoken at some moments, but then abruptly shouting at other moments. It's just funny as hell. It's funny as hell. But yeah, that's our party, and right now our party is trying to stay safe at the Blind Sphinx, which is the safe haven that they're at right now. Though, while they're there, Cyrus and his sister, they want to go and check on something. Mainly their tavern. The only tavern in Belieful. It was basically their home, their livelihood, and because of events that happened, it got destroyed. It got ransacked by criminals, basically. Cyrus and Priscilla want to go back to the tavern to look through it, make sure they can get all the belongings out of there, and make sure that they can get everything out of there before they have to find a new place to start over, I guess. So we all decided we agree. We're just like, yeah, sure, we'll go back there, we'll do the thing, and then we'll get back to the Blind Sphinx and find another place to settle down at, and come up with a plan on how to solve our problems. So we're all walking back to the tavern. You know, we're taking a stroll, taking a light stroll. It's the middle of the day. It's pretty happy, like boop, 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 when all of a sudden, we start noticing things. Mainly, our barbarian Kale. He sees something, and he sees it run by. It looks like a soldier that he used to be with, someone he used to fight with. So he runs to the alleyway to see what the soldier's doing, and looks down the alleyway and sees nothing. Only an empty alleyway. We all wondering what's going on, what's happening, why is he doing that? It's then that Cyrus and Priscilla, his sister, notice something as well. They start seeing something as well. They see the face of their father and their mother. Mind you, their father and mother are dead at this point. So they see their faces and they're just freaking out, like, what's happening? What's going on? Why is this happening now? Griswold's like wondering, they're like, is this magic? It's just magic? What's going on here? We're all just figuring out what to do next. How are we gonna get out of the situation? What's happening to us? Is it a creature? Is it magic? Is it an artifact? What's going on? It's then that Zil looks over and sees a hallucination of a little boy slicing his own throat. And Zil gets mad at this. Zil's like literally freaking out. He's like, what the fuck? He's like saying, like, don't show me that. And he's like about to go pound. He wanted to beat something up. We continue walking for a bit longer, trying to figure out what's going on. Gristard is basically trying to get the party to calm down. Basically, hey, everyone, calm down. We're gonna be fine. Everything's gonna be fine. It's then that he hears a voice behind him. He turns around and he sees the face of an old friend. A friend that he knows as Alexander. This was a friend that he knew, and it's seemingly there in front of him somehow. Even though he hasn't seen this friend in years, it's right there in front of him. And Gristard, he hears a voice speak to him as he looks down and he sees his familiar. Gristard, in case you're wondering, he has a familiar. He has a blue fox familiar named Alexander. The fox sort of disrupts him, asks what's going on, and Gristard looks back up and finds that the human accent, the one that he saw, is gone. At this point, Orin is the only one who hasn't seen anything, and we're all kind of scared for her to see something because her past is a bit broken. Like, she has stated many times that a lot of her memories, she doesn't know if any of them are true or not, and she's a bit scared of what she might see, even to the point where she's actually legit grabbing onto Cyrus and saying, if anything happens, please make sure I don't go crazy. So we're walking to the tavern. We're all a bit scared now. We're wondering what's going on. And as we're going on, we notice that the fog is getting heavier and heavier as well. We're getting to where we can barely see. And we get to the tavern, and we find standing in front of the tavern door is this creature. The shape. We can't really make it out that well, but we can see enough. We can see that it is this black shape in the fog that seemingly isn't human. Like, it's not human shaped. It's shaped like it's tall. It's very tall. It has very pointed features. Mainly it's like a blob. Like, the body is like a blob. Meanwhile, the hands and the feet are very pointed, very jagged even. And we can see that it's black. It's basically like, it's got these, what look like skulls on it, actually. These skulls on it, actually. And in one of its claws, in one of its clawed hands, it has a chain. And the chain leads down to another beast right next to it. A big dog-like creature, like a big dog-like creature. As seemingly look around, sniffing the area, and it is just the creature itself is like looking and like standing at the doorway, and we're seeing this. We all see this. Orin is the one who is most shocked by this because she seems to recognize this creature, or at the very least knows what it is. As we all get close and we see this thing, the creature seems to hear us. Looks over at us, and seemingly gives a grin more towards Orin's direction. And then the fog rolls over it, and when the fog lifts, both creatures are gone. And we are standing there, looking a little shaken and very pale. We run to the door, trying to see if it's still in the house or anywhere, in the tavern. Trying to see if it's still in the tavern or anywhere, but it's not. It's gone. It's just gone. Just disappeared out of trance. We go inside, and we see that the tavern, Cyrus and Priscilla's tavern, their home, is just destroyed, like ransacked, like even more so than before. Because before there was like a couple tables turned over, maybe broken. The tables are now like, they look like they're like smashed into the wall. The wall, there's like broken boards in the wall. Everything looks ransacked and broken and destroyed. This place is like no more. Priscilla and Cyrus go, they look around, try to see if they find anything. They don't find a thing in there. Everything they had is just either broken or gone. Well, I was wondering, what the fuck's going on? Why was there a creature right there in the doorway? What was that creature anyway? This is when Orin speaks up and explains to us what this creature is. She explains that it has many names, though it has no official one. Like, no one knows what to officially call this thing, but people have just given it many names. And the one that people mostly call it by is the Rizen. A creature that was forcefully made from an artifact. And at this moment, I actually explain what artifacts are. When I say artifacts, I don't mean magical items. No, I mean artifacts. These are objects that have magic in them, yes. But, and unlike magical items, these things can evolve. They can grow. These are how most people get into magic, actually. More people say, like, well, some people can get into it by studying or the bloodlines. Most people get into magic have an artifact with them. They get into from that. That's how they get their power from a lot of times. And sometimes these artifacts, they can evolve with their owner. They can get to a point where they can become sentient, even to the point where they can actually become creatures, depending on how much power they defend. It's a natural process. So it's supposed to be a natural process of years and years of just turmoil. The Rizen, however, are the result of when someone forces those years and years of evolution down into a compressed time period. And it is these things are not supposed to exist. This is a forced evolution that's not supposed to happen. This is the reason why it looks so wrong. It feels wrong. It looks like it's in pain. It probably is in pain. It's being tormented by just existing because it is just being forced to become what it shouldn't have been yet. And according to Orin, this thing was made from a powerful artifact as well. A powerful one. In fact, the fact that we don't even know if the dog is a part of the artifact or if it's a different type of artifact altogether. We don't know. But whatever it is, it's powerful and it is seemingly looking for something. As they see that this thing was like looking for something entirely weird. It's then that Orin remembers that she did something with her artifact. She has an artifact. The artifact in question is a chalice. It's this cup that when blood puts in it, or when blood gets in it, or when someone uses water or something, they can use magic through it, and it's a very powerful artifact as well. In fact, that thing is sentient. That's how powerful it is, and it seemingly latched itself to Orin in some way. They have come dependent on each other, basically. A while ago, when Tam first got attacked, Orin did a ritual with the chalice on a doorway in the tavern. She had casted a little bit of a spell on it to make it feel like home, basically to keep this place safe. It was sort of a way just to make sure this place will always feel like home for Cyrus and Priscilla whenever they come back to it. But when she looks at the doorway that she went through, her and Cyrus can feel this immense dark magic coming from that doorway. And she realizes that the Rizen, the thing that I was looking for, it's looking for the energies of artifacts. Mainly the energy of the chalice itself. As there's an energy search, there's an energy, the chalice's energy is here. There's also another place where the energy of the chalice was used. And it's back at her church, her home. She used to have a church at the edge of town where she would use it to basically make potions of that and keep the chalice safe there. The chalice was used there. And if this thing's going after the chalice, or at least the energies of the chalice, then it's most likely going back to the church. So, after figuring this all out, we decided that we need to get back to the church to make sure that it doesn't destroy her church, or it doesn't destroy her church, or it doesn't do anything to her stuff as well. Because she has stuff there, she wants to make sure that we get everything, and she mainly wants to see if it truly is looking for the chalice. If it's looking for her artifact. Mind you, we don't have the chalice anymore. It was stolen from us by a criminal syndicate. It was stolen from us, and we had to give it up. We're gonna get it back at some point. We're planning on getting it back at some point. But because of that, we sort of knew that if we go there, it won't harm us or won't try to kill us for the chalice because we don't have it on us. So yeah, that's the only reason why we think this thing hasn't gone after us yet, because the fact that we don't have the chalice on us. So we go to the church, we go to the chapel to see if the thing is there, if it is looking for the chalice, if it is there. And at first, we get there and it looks fine. That is until we get closer to the chalice. We get closer to the doorway, and we see that the door is just shattered in half. It is broken. And through the door, we can see the creature. It is standing at the podium. Orin used to hide the chalice in the podium itself. The creature's standing there, looking at the podium, simply trying to get a feel of where the chalice is, trying to find that energy that it once knew. That's when the creature then turns and looks at us, being able to, and seemingly recognizes Orin, and it gets closer to us. It stops right in front of us, and we get a close look at this thing. And this thing is, if I get to see what this thing actually looks like, truly looks like, and it is downright grotesque. Like it looks like it has like black tar coming off it, and those skulls I mentioned before, those are seemingly covered in still covered in some kind of flesh. As it gets closer, it starts to talk. Where is it? It uses the skulls to make sound come out of it, to talk through them. She wants to know what it is, what it wants. And it's just standing there looking at us. Eventually responds, telling us that it wants a chalice. I need it. Vegaros sent me for it. Vegaros is a name that we have heard before. This is a powerful dude. And he seemingly wants the chalice and other artifacts as well, known as soul emblems. He wants them for some reason. Maybe to bring them together, maybe to use them to destroy the world, take over the world, maybe, who knows. What we do know is that if he gets these soul emblems, if he gets all of them, then it's going to be bad news for the entire continent, for everyone. So we tell this thing where the chalice is. And we mentioned that it's with the crime syndicate. It's with crime syndicate known as the Ivory Brotherhood. And this thing just wails, screaming out, just crying. This thing is talking about how Orin has abandoned them, abandoned the chalice, and how this thing seemingly is connected to the chalice in some way. Maybe it was an artifact like the chalice. She talks about how abandoned them and how she needs to get it back and bring it to them, to give it back to them. And Orin is listening to all this, and she is saying, like, I did not abandon you. She's replying how she didn't abandon them, how she's planning on getting the child back, and she will do her best just to get this thing, just to make this thing feel right. And this thing is wailing, it is in pain. The skull on its face is melting, is like disintegrating before our eyes, and it is like constantly wailing in pain, seemingly crying out for it to end. Even this thing is literally just dying before our eyes in ways that we can't, and yet it can't die at all. It's dying, and yet it's surviving whether it wants to or not. So as we're doing all this, it seemingly is like it gets in real close to Orin's face, and we can see the bubbling of its skin, the melting of the skulls. He's sort of like looking at her face, so he's studying her, trying to see if she's telling the truth or not. It then bubbles a bit more, doesn't say anything else, and disappears. Gone. Like that. As it goes away, Orin then immediately pukes up her guts right there on the floor as soon as it disappears. And we are all just like standing there freaking out, like, what the fuck happened? That's happening in this campaign. That's what's happening in this session. The DM ended the session there with the DM ended the session with us sort of lingering in this question of what happened and what's gonna happen next. Mainly, what does this thing want to do, and how are we going to defeat it? I guess get through this. How are we going to make sure that this thing doesn't how are we going to get the chalice back and make sure this thing doesn't come after us when we get it back? It was intense. It was insane, and honestly, I'm all here for it because I want to know more. I want to know more. I want to figure out what's happened next. I want to do more sessions of this. I want to explore this world more, explore the artifacts more, figure out what's going on next, what's happening, happened next. I'm excited. I'm genuinely excited for this, and I haven't been excited for a campaign in a long time. I've had many campaigns where I've legit been in there, and I've never got excited because the DM doesn't know what he's doing, or it's just not fun. It's just boring. It's just combat, and I don't like combat that much. I'm a heavy role playing guy. I like heavy role playing. And this is what I'm talking about. We are seeing a creature that is in pain, that doesn't want to do what it has to do, but is forced to in some way. And again, it's the fact that now that we're seemingly fighting against a guy who is connected to these artifacts, who seemingly found a way to connect us to these artifacts, and as we are all connected to artifacts as well, we have someone else that's connected to artifacts as well. Orin, she is seemingly connected to she's bonded to a powerful artifact and has found a way to connect herself to the rest of the artifacts, the Soul Emblem artifacts. So we're trying to figure out what's going on, what to do next, what's our next plan of action. Right now, as I'm talking right now, we've got to another session, and we are at this moment trying to delve more into Orin's backstory and delve into what happened to her and how to help her with all this shit. It is intense. It is crazy. It is insane, and we are all ready for it. We're excited. I'm ready for us to do more things. Sorry if this is a bit less sorry if this isn't as great as my other videos, guys, but I had to talk about this. I had to, because I want you guys to see what I'm going through in this campaign. And of course, if you guys want to know more about this campaign as well, if you guys want me to keep updates with you, please tell me. I'll keep you guys updated on this shit, because this must have happened. It's must have happened as well. Again, this is a campaign it's a session that I have went through. I say it's a recent session. It is recent. I went through like a week or two ago, and we've already experienced a couple more things. It's getting intense in here, I would say. Of course, if you guys want me to explain more of what's happened, like more of what's going on, maybe like if you guys want to explain anything else, like for instance, like if you want me to explain the characters in more detail, I will. Please tell me. I'll do a video for each character if you want. I'll do a video about the characters themselves if you want. That way we can just like talk about the characters and about the session itself, so you guys can get an idea of what's going on here. You know. But yeah, guys, that's gonna be it for today's episode of D&D Talk. I haven't done this for a bit, and honestly, it's kind of good to be back. I'm not going to be doing this a lot. Like I said, I'll do more if you guys want me to do more, you know? Because I have a lot of things I want to do. I don't want to waste you guys' time with me doing videos and you guys don't like them. That's the whole thing. I don't want to waste time with you guys. But if you guys do more, I'll make more, okay? I just had to talk about this one, okay? Anyway, guys, hope you guys have a wonderful day. I will see you next time, okay? Have fun rolling, guys. Bye! Survive Hacks. Say goodbye, Crows Crew. Goodbye.